The second edition of the virtual Farnborough Connect kicked off yesterday with collaboration and cooperation being among the main buzzwords in the session that entertained thousands of online delegates throughout the day. Bringing together leaders from industry, academia, government, there was online networking and an insight into key issues that affect the whole aerospace and defence future. This first day was all about defence and security. In the air, on sea, and even in space. And how better to start the cooperation message than a display of collaboration between the US and the UK F-35 aircraft from the flagship of the Royal Navy and the centrepiece of the carrier strike group of the UK, HMS Queen Elizabeth. Commander of the strike group, Commodore Steve Morehouse, talking from the ship on its way to Indo-Pacific, explained the depth of that strategy that's been made possible now the carrier is operational.
The coming months will see a programme of visits and exercises designed to strengthen our ties with partners new and old across a range of shared interests, defence and security, but also trade and investment, cyber, security, climate change, and many other areas of mutual cooperation. Much of this rests on the convening power of carrier strike. HMS Queen Elizabeth and her escorts are able to draw together like-minded navies and air forces of all size, shapes and types, along with the military and political leadership.
The panel covering the role that the CSG plays suggested it could carry out a vital role as a floating exhibition for UK industry as it reinforces trade deals signed with other countries. There are greater links than ever before, with ADS Group President and CEO of Meggitt, Tony Wood, explaining the UK industry has been directly involved with the development of the MOD's industrial strategy, which now gives the sector confidence to invest in advanced capabilities.
The more nuanced approach to competition means we hope to see the UK supply chain being prioritised in procurement decisions and an increase in the domestic contribution to programmes. And we're optimistic about the greater opportunities that this could create, and we'll be monitoring closely how the industrial strategy is implemented.
Certainly industry and the MOD have a clear eye on the future. And in a session called Future Battle Space, the next generation of defence came under the microscope. And to build the new systems which will defend us against future threats, the detail will be in the data.
We need that data right at the front end now of the concepting phase of future systems as well, right through the development phase and so on. As we move to digital engineering, synthetic test and so on, that will drive changes. It will blur the boundaries between test and evaluation through to training, through into operations. It's going to drive need for more countries to have intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance capabilities to generate data. It's going to drive an enormous need to be able to support the data science that then takes that data, refines it, processes it, exploits it, turns it into useful intelligence, and then future data sources to support the next set of platforms and so on.
A panel with key MOD government and industry experts discussed how learning from the private sector could enable more sustainable defence forces and mitigate significant costs. Sam Healy from Kinetic said the industry had to put its hearts and minds together to work towards greater sustainability. That resonated with Air Marshal Andrew Turner, who said the issue was non-negotiable, but added that it wasn't a case of reinventing the wheel to make improvements. Indeed, he came up with a novel idea to reduce carbon close to a runway.
I was talking with one of the bases last week actually around the idea of replacing grass on runways with moss. Now moss is really interesting because the carbon sequestration capability of moss is something like 800 times that of planting a tree. Now given that CO2 is emitted close to the ground on runways, if we were to reline airfields with moss, not grass, not only would it save me money in grass cutting and bird control, but we'd end up sinking the carbon we burn close to the ground directly into the soil. It's really fascinating how we might better take good ideas from all across the industry and enterprise to our advantage.
Earlier, the UK Secretary of State for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy Kwasi Kwarteng, had stressed the importance of that focus on sustainability across the whole sector and the benefits it could bring to the industry.
Another positive development has been how government and industry now work together very closely across the breadth of the UK economy. The Jet Zero Council brings together a wide group of aerospace, aviation, fuel and academic interests to boost the development of new green aerospace technologies and sustainable aviation fuels. The Aerospace Growth Partnership brings us together to tackle barriers to growth, to boost exports and to grow high-value jobs.
Well, as FIA Connect continues today, sustainability, as well as the whole future of the airline world, comes under the microscope in some cracking-looking sessions. Look out for that session with Chief Technology Officers from Airbus, Boeing, Rolls-Royce, Safran, GE and Raytheon. There is still time to register and get involved today in the sessions and to network with colleagues. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.